Hello, welcome to Do It Yourself with Wayne. Today we're in here in our laundry room, and unfortunately our clothes dryer has died recently, and we've already removed it, but today we're going to show you what we did to remove it. We're going to talk about the things that you have to work with, the power cord. There are different styles of power cords. We're going to talk about that. The ductwork. Obviously we had to disconnect that. There's different kinds of ductwork. We're going to talk about the different kinds. We're going to talk about some safety recommendations. And also, past this ductwork, there's ductwork that leads the rest of the way out of our house. We're also going to talk about that ductwork and some safety recommendations there. But before we get started on this, I'd just like to say Do It Yourself with Wayne is all about helping save you money by learning how to do things yourself. So if you want to save money, subscribe to our channel. Click like on our video, share it with your friends. Those things help us to bring you more videos. All right, so now let's get started on how to swap out your clothes dryer. To start, we're going to start talking about the power cord. There's two different styles of power cords. And I put a picture of this up in the corner as well as a picture of our outlet that's in the wall. The two styles, there's either 3 prongs or 4 prongs. When you buy a new dryer, most new dryers do not come with a power cord. And that's probably because there's different styles of outlets. But you'll likely have to purchase a new one, or you can use your old one. If you do your own installation, you can use the old one, but always make sure that it looks like it's in good shape. There's no nicks or cuts in it. If there's any kind of damage to your cord, don't try to fix it, replace it. It's a safety hazard if there's any damage to it. But 3 prongs or 4 prongs is the only thing you need to know when you purchase the power cord for your dryer. Now, on your vent hose, if you've got the old style that's vinyl, usually it's white vinyl plastic kind of stuff. If you've got that, do not reuse that. It's a safety hazard. In most places, they're not even legal to install anymore, but it's definitely a safety hazard. If it's the old vinyl, don't use it. These are semi-rigid aluminum. They're a lot safer if a fire would happen to occur in the lint that's inside your vent hose. And dryer lint is very flammable. But inspect your hose, make sure it's in good shape if you're going to reuse the old one. Clean out the inside of it as best you can. Get the old lint out. And just make sure it's in good shape. Now you'll also need 2 clamps. I'll put a picture of these hose clamps up in the corner. You'll need 2 of those. In all likelihood, you can reuse your old ones. But just depending on your old installation, you may have to purchase 1 or 2. So just be aware that that's something to be to think about before you start installing your new dryer. Now at this point, we're going to go down in our basement and we're going to show you the vent hose that leads out of our house, and we're going to talk about some safety aspects or safety recommendations with that as well. Now we're down here in our basement. This is our ductwork for our dryer going from the bathroom where it comes down over there and out the side of the house behind me. Now I replaced this a few years ago. Before we had the semi-rigid aluminum ductwork, but it was sagging in places and was not in good shape, and I replaced it. If you're going to replace this, it's better if you use a solid pipe like this, but you can use the semi-rigid aluminum. As you see these hangers that I got here to keep this level, if it's level, the air flows better through it better. But if you use the semi-rigid, it has a tendency to sag between where your hangers are at. So use more hangers to keep it as straight as you can, and you'll get better airflow through there. That's just one of those safety recommendations that, just get your airflow better so you don't have lint buildup so much. Now the first thing we're going to do is hook up the dryer vent hose to the back of the dryer. And I decided to go with a new hose. Our old one didn't look too bad, but I decided to replace it anyway. And as small as this thing may look, it will stretch out to 8 feet. So it'll give us plenty of length. So start out by stretching out the end of it a little bit. Put your clamp over the end. You may want to pull it back a little ways just to get it out of your way. And then work your hose carefully over the end of the pipe, making sure it's covered up good. Then go up there and tighten your clamp down. Okay, there we go. I got it tight enough that it won't twist. That should keep it from coming off. Just don't try to tighten it so tight that you damage things. All right, so that's it for the dryer vent hose at the back of the dryer. Now we're going to attach the power cord to the back of the dryer. Now we're going to hook up the power to the back of our dryer, and always make sure when you're messing with this, the power is unplugged. I know that seems like a duh, but I just had to say it. But in our case, we have the 3-prong power cable. They go to these 3 lugs here, and in our case, well, it goes this way. They go just like that. Of course, it wouldn't matter if it was that way or this way, but the lugs have little ears on the end of them, and so they need to go that way so they fit right. Now, if you had the cable or the power cord with 4 wires, you'd still use these 3, but you'd also use your ground wire for one of the wires. And there should be a wiring diagram that comes with your dryer that will show you which wire goes where. Because if you got the 4-wire cord, they're color coded. The flat ones with 3 wires normally are not. But if you got the 3 wires, like I said, they just go there. Now to put this in, it goes through here, but you install a bracket like this that clamps down on your cable to secure it in place so it doesn't wear against the metal and cause problems. And that just goes in there like that. Then you stick your wire through here and up here to hook it up. So that's what I'm going to do now. And this may be a little bit aggravating to get it through there, but just take your time. In our case, there's some fabric back behind it that also has to be in the right place. So anyway, there's our 3 wires, and we just got to get them under those screws. And I'm going to do that off camera because it's going to take a few minutes, but I'll be right back. Now at this point, I got my wires hooked up, and I got these screws tightened down. Don't try to tighten them down like you're a gorilla. You just want them good and snug, because you can strip these things out, but they're pretty hardy, so you need to get them pretty good and tight, but don't over tighten them. Same thing here. You want this clamp on this cable so that if you give a good tug to this, it doesn't slide in this bracket, because the whole point of this bracket is to keep stress off these connectors. You don't want this being pulled out and putting stress on these. It also keeps your cable, this power cord, from rubbing against the metal, from being loose and rubbing against the metal, because it can wear through the insulation. And then the last thing we want to do, we got a metal plate that goes on here. Goes on like so. Yours may look a little different, but you'll have something to cover up those electrical connections, because you don't want those exposed, because that would be a serious safety hazard. So that's how you hook up the power in the back of it. Now we're going to turn our dryer around and hook up the power cord to the wall and the hose for the vent. Slide it into place and we'll be done. At this point, the only thing that was left to do was we hooked up the vent hose to the floor using the same kind of hose clamp that I showed you on the back of the dryer itself, and we plugged in the power cord. Now, unfortunately, I don't really have a way to get a good camera angle so I can show that to you, but it's pretty easy. Like I said, the vent hose hooks up the same way that it did on the back of the dryer, and then just plug in the power cord. We slid it into place. We adjusted the feet a little bit to get the height. It's not exactly perfect water washer, but it's real close. But just like a washing machine, you do want to make sure that it's level, and we do have it level at this point, but the feet are adjustable if that's a problem. So anyway, that's our tutorial for installing a dryer, or if you would move one from one house to another. So at this point, we'd just like to say we appreciate you visiting, and if you subscribe to our channel and click like on our videos and all those things, it really helps us grow, which helps us bring you more videos. And the main purpose of our channel is to teach you how to do things yourself to save money. So at this point, thank you for visiting Do It Yourself with Wayne, and we hope you have a great day.